All right. Oop, let me fix this. There she goes. I got all happy yesterday because they said kind of threw me off too, man. I was all thrown off last night, but I did okay. I listened to it this morning, but I did live last night, and it said new version. I thought it said inversion because everything on this thing is inverted, and it took my mind off of it. I started going somewhere, and I'm like, I brought myself back. Did a pretty good job. The neighbors were twisting one on last night though, and it was bugging me, so I cut it off short. So I said, well, if I like what I said, I'll keep it. I'll do a part one, and then I'll do a part two because there was more I needed to say, but I just kept hearing my neighbors cracking beers, and I'm just like, well, that's another 15 minutes. Well, that's another 15 minutes, and it was kind of important because I was trying to explain something in real simple layman's terms, and when you start talking about investing with people and you start talking about like economics and stuff, I want it so like a teenager can understand it because people just kind of like lose like are like oh crypto coin like oh like, yeah, stuff's changing and we need to apply the pressure with it. And I mentioned it last night how easy it is to get into that to where you can have an escape route. Now, do I think the dollar is going to crash and dissolve and go away? No, absolutely not. I think it's gonna go down, but it needs to go down so the banks and everybody can wake up and be like, okay, we're really killing ourselves because the banks need to realize all you own is America's debt, and if there's no cash behind it and they can't pay anything back, you don't own anything. All you own is America's debt. You understand that? That was my whole point I was trying to prove. So these banks, these corporations think they own everything. No, you just own a bunch of debts. And if the America just walks away and throws their credit cards down, there's nothing you can do because the statute of limitation goes away after 3 or 4 years. Do you get it? So actually, it's time for us to apply the pressure on them, okay? But this has been sick what they've done. And they've done it for a few years, 20, 30 years now with this housing market. And don't act like the banks don't run out of money and just expect the government to swoop in. But with them doing that all the time, it lowers the price of the money, the quality of the money. And what's going to happen now is the inflation is going to creep, 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 creep. That's why people back in the day used to be like, I remember back in 1950, I used to pay a nickel for the movies. Now it's forget it. How much is going to the baseball game or the movies with your family? Huh? That's why I said last night I used to pay $2. I used to go down on a bicycle, shoot down the little sewer ramp right by 40th Street. Right now it's the 15. We'd zoom in. We'd have a couple bucks in our pocket. We'd have enough for a hot dog, a soda, and all we needed was like 5, $6 in our pocket, and we were good. All right. Now go to a baseball game. Shit. Anyway, let's get into it. This is time to apply the pressure on them. Part two. So I really wanted to come out with that video yesterday because something huge is going to happen. Okay, September 4th, 2021, they officially stopped the extra $1,200 that everybody on unemployment was getting. Okay. And it was crazy the whole time it was happening. I mean, over 20 something months we're at now, and they were paying us an extra 12. I mean, some people were probably getting paid more to be on unemployment than they've ever been paid in their life. You know, to be honest with you, if I didn't get tips at my last job, I wouldn't have got paid this much. And so I started to give some things you could do, hopefully that it can get to some people that actually saved a little bit of money and have some money. And they're like, wow, I got a little bit of money. And I gave some people some ways to stash money because I know the old school dudes are just going to be like, you got to buy gold. Problem with gold is you have to sell the gold. Okay. And I don't have a problem with gold, but you have to eventually sell it. And if the dollar tanks, okay, if it tanks and it goes low, then the people that are going to buy the gold that have cash, or what are they going to buy it with? Exactly. So the dollar will never go all the way down to zero. They want to put fear in you. That's just fear. This is all fear. This is why the credit and the banks own you. But they're in a catch 22 because it's like, well, if you eventually just don't pay and then there's no cash and the cash loses value, banks, corporations, you have nothing. You own just a bunch of thin air. Okay. And that's why they call it inflation, because it looks like a big balloon, but really all it is just a bunch of air. There's nothing there. So if this inflation gets too crazy and the prices get too out of control, eventually it'll probably get to the point where the military has to step in and be like, yo, 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 this is getting too crazy, and we'll have to figure out some kind of way to fortify our currency. Okay, so it going bad and going south, is not necessarily, I think, a bad thing. It's just where it's going, and there's no stopping it now because what's been holding this whole thing up this whole time is the fact that they've been giving people so much money on unemployment, but that's gone. So now the stores are going to feel this over the next couple months. You go, oh, well, people will just get jobs. Even if you get a job tomorrow, it's still a 3-month period of just figuring out if they like you, if you like them, if this is a job for me, making it to work. Is this a good worker? I mean, there's so many factors in that. You can't think, oh, people are just going to go back to work and it's just going to be like smooth sailing. And I talked to my friend the other day that works at other job, and I was just asking him, kind of picking his head and stuff. And I just said, I knew it though. I said, what's the menu like? The food menu. He goes, well, we've gotten rid of lunch and we just have dinner and breakfast. I said, oh, really? I said, I bet you no more steaks and seafood. Nope. Why? Because those are expensive and perishable. You have to get rid of them. So if you're not moving them quick, you're losing money. He goes, no, actually, we got a lot of pasta. Why? Because pasta has a long shelf life. It's cheap, and you can add a little bit of chicken or probably shrimp, and then salads and stuff like that, right? And that's what's happening. So these people, like I said, they're going to give you less of a variety. They're going to shrink it, I said, in the first one. And they were already doing it. I already saw it. I said, yeah, restaurants are going to run out of food. They're going to run out of steaks because they can't afford to just purchase steaks and expecting large people to come in and sit down and everything. You know what I mean? And you can already see it, and I saw it. And that's why I said this is going to happen in these stores. You're not going to have 10 different Colgates. You're going to have about 2 because it's going to be better for them to be able to keep their prices as low as they can while the inflation is going up to make fewer products. Still keep their products on the shelf, and that's why the shelves are going to diminish a little bit, okay? And that's where we're headed as this increases. I think there is a positivity because I think this is going to be the wake-up call for the corporation. That's why I say it's time for us to put the pressure on them. I had a chokehold, but then I was like, nah, it's better to put the pressure on them. But we can't put the pressure. We can't put the chokehold on them because I was telling you guys about the cryptocurrency. Now, just because you put money into my crypto account, which is Coinbase, just because I put money over there, doesn't mean I bought any crypto. No, it's over there as USD, United States dollars. I could put dollars from any denomination from any country in that account. And this is what they're really scared of, a different form of money they don't control. And they knew this was coming. They saw it coming. This is why they're getting all the comedians on the nighttime hosts to go bad after crypto and Bitcoin and make jokes and everything and don't invest and make it difficult, not give you the information. But I put it over there. Just because I have money over there doesn't mean I did anything. Now, with that account that I have, I can instantly transfer $35,000. So if something did happen and they shut the banks down and there was some craziness, I could transfer $35,000 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, even in the stock market, you can kind of put your money into stocks and be like, oh, the dollar's down. It's really low. You know, it's below the Mexican peso or something because the economy's been shut down for 2 years, right? Well, I can keep my value of the dollar by putting it into that account or putting it into a stock, right? Because I bought what the dollar was still decent, right? And I can hide it over there. But with the stock market, it's not open 24/7 like this crypto is. So if something goes down and I see it, I'm 2 a.m, I can literally shoot a large amount of cash over there, put it in a Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It could be Litecoin. It could be Lithium. It could be EOS. See, now when you do get into it, when you actually take a little bit of money, open up an account, all it is downloading an app and linking everything. And once you do that, you have a little bit of an escape valve. And this is why I'm trying to tell people this, okay? It's not all about just buying one Bitcoin. And then when you start doing that, and when I do this, when I throw the dagger, when I do that, that's not me doing anything. That's me basically doing a symbology to the universe to bring me the information. That's why I like Elvis Levi a lot, because Elvis Levi would say, he would get into it, he'd be like, you can command the universe, and you just have to believe, and you have to control the astral light. It's not like that. It's like this. Throw a dart, and I knew that within the next couple of days, because the universe was telling me, throw the dart towards Canada, and I threw it. Next thing you know, the information started coming back to me. It was like, Trudeau can't even attend his own rallies. And then it came back to me that Chris Sky, and I just called him. That's my psychic ability. He was like, Chris Sky is blowing up. And then I said, okay, throw it to Cali. I want to know some stuff about Larry Elder. And I even said in Canada, can Benny Johnson please tell me? Woke up the next day. First thing I look at my phone, Benny Johnson's showing me an interview on Larry Elder where Larry Elder's talking about, yo, I want to start digging into like Why is Gavin Newsom paying criminals to not shoot people? And I was like, that's how the universe works for me. That's why I tell you people, if you start following me, it's gonna get like that with you because that's just normal to me. But it will be like that with you too. But not only that, you can start maybe looking into the crypto thing, get in, kind of get some money over there. Just throw a couple $100 over there, kind of get used to it. This is what I would do if I were you, especially if you're coming off the unemployment. You got a couple more weeks left of the extra money, about 3 weeks left if you're on the right schedule. That's about $900. Take 600 of that. Get yourself a Coinbase account. Throw 600 over there. Put 150 in the Bitcoin. You can buy like $150 of Bitcoin. That's why I like it too. Or look up lithium. Look up all these accounts. The thing is, once you get the money in the account, the universe will start throwing it, or you just go research it. Be like, yo, man, this lithium, I think it's lithium or ethium, and then they got Chainlink. Start looking at it. Just throw $150 for never sell it. Just look at it for 5 years and see how it goes. What's $150? The money was for free, especially if you just still got some unemployment. You know, the jig is up. We're going back to work. Everybody's going to go back to work. The economy is going to turn around probably within the first 6 months of 2022. Everybody's going to get back to work. Everybody's going to be like, all right, the Rona's going to go away. I just heard some information that October 11th, they're going to release that information on that Ghislaine Maxwell. They're going to release her cohorts. Yeah. You wonder why there's distractions? You wonder why there's a Rona floating around? We talking about that Epstein Island. What happened to Epstein? He got Epstein. October 11th. So it's coming out. Oh, you're not hearing it? Nope, you're over here. They got Dan Bongino looking at Afghanistan. They got you looking at Sleepy Joe. Look at Sleepy Joe. Yeah, Sleepy Joe's an idiot. Although I've been trying so hard to call somebody a lying dog-faced pony soldier, dog. All I think about is in the Three Amigos with I don't know who it's Chevy Chase or whatever, but they call El Guapo. They go, "You are a son of a motherless goat." That's all I think about because it would be so shocking that they just look at each other like El Guapo looks at his homeboy Paco, whatever his name was. He's like, they're like a son of a motherless goat. What does that mean? And that would be the same reaction if Joe Biden looked at me and goes, "You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier." You know, I just think of El Guapo going, "Hey, Paco, ven aquí. Sleepy Joe. He called me a lying dog-faced soldier, pony soldier. Have you ever heard of such a name? What does that mean, Paco?" "No sé, patron. I don't know. I've never heard such a thing." "Paco, he called me a lying. He called me a liar, a face of a dog, and a soldier with a pony. Now would that be considered a plethora?" "Sí, patrón. Sí, porque es tres cosas, patrón. Tres cosas es un plethora. Dos cosas, pero tres cosas, patrón, jefe, es un plethora." And then I could just see El Guapo walking away with his face like still perplexed in the desert, like, plethora. A lying dog-faced pony soldier. Un son of a motherless goat. Este gringos son loco. That's your president, by the way. Y'all voted for him, not me. I was like, wait. Sleepy Joe? Because I didn't know who was running for the Democratic president. I was like, Joe? Who? What? Joe? I was like, oh, no, I'm registering Republican. Trump might not be that bad. He was my wake-up call, but this is the wake-up call you needed. Sleepy Joe is the necessary evil y'all needed to wake up, okay? It's like, you can't escape right now from Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe's just like, he's like that dude from Poltergeist. Let me. Yeah, that's why Dan Bongino, he's like, is this a reality? This really the world I'm living in? Yeah, Dan, that's the world you live in. Things we can do now, and I said to put the pressure on them, boycott. Okay, we really need to get together. Here's something we can do with this new crypto. Okay, you don't have to buy anything. You could just send your money over there. Okay, people can get like they did the. I was thinking about this today. It was sorry, it's hot, dude. It's so hot today. Oh my God, it's humid today. I can't put my AC on or I'm gonna die. Or I'm gonna blow up the microphone. Just gonna sweat it out. Drink. I got frustrated last night, but it was interesting to hear my neighbors laughing because they were laughing so loud. They had them deep belly laughs, and I just heard, "Oh, Dios mío!" But they just kept cracking them beers, and I was like, "Ah!" So I was like, "Stop here, see how you did." But anyway, things we can do: keep boycotting. Stop watching professional sports. Okay, you can see that they're compromised. They're all a bunch of sellouts. Okay, they tried to go over there and get some of that China money, but now they're about to lose this American money. And watch how they start taking knees to America again. They ain't gonna be taking knees. They're gonna be riding like rockets around the stadium with Star Spangled Banner flags on their back. Roger Goodell's gonna be like coming out with the banjo, singing all American tunes. They're gonna have Miley Cyrus. She can be like at the halftime show doing cartwheels, and they're gonna be like, "I'm sorry about all this satanic stuff." Turns out, and plus Nuremberg's coming. Fauci's rump is on the roast. You know what I mean? Fauci's his rump is on the roast. Them days are numbered. Fauci. I saw that. I smelled little man's disease in the hood. We call that little man's disease. Them little fingers. You get in there, put the double mask. And I saw him throw that baseball. And man, my homeboy was so brainwashed. He got mad when I showed him that video. Brainwashed, homie. You were brainwashed. That's why I was like, I got to let this dude wake up by himself because he's been brainwashed. When he started doing the man buns and little weird little mustaches, I'm like, oh, man, the hell's wrong with him? And I realized, oh, he's about the age where he went through the indoctrination camps that they've been doing to these damn kids. Still dealing with my friend. I'm like, when she wakes up, but she fine too. So I'm like, can't let the fine ones go. When they wake up, because I'll take a beat down 38-year-old, got some wrinkles, be like, Michael, I'm all used up. I'll be like, you just about right for me. So there was things we can do. Boycott, okay. Because we are gonna go through some crap right now. We ain't gonna have everything. Look at the restaurant I used to work at. They don't even have a lunch menu. What kind of restaurant? Open all day, no lunch. Like, well, we've got pasta and a burger and some salad. So we're going through it. There's nothing you can do. You're just gonna have to go through it. So I hope you saved your money, and that's what I wanted to say, to give your way out to do things. Things we can do is like the thing they did where, okay, I remember where I was at. Sorry, they were at the GameStop. Remember when they did the thing with GameStop? That's another thing. I heard something the other day about the government or something. I'm not gonna quote it. Was going after these hedge funds. Okay, and that's. If you look at and this is another thing that'll prove to you that banks do run out of money. So this is a good reason to maybe listen to me, because The Big Short, if you watch it, that was like the banks ran out of money because they gave out so many loans. They didn't have any money. So the federal government in the 80s, they have all kinds of banks ran out of money. People are trying to go to the bank and they can't get it. It does happen. It's happened a lot of times. Okay. So don't be like, oh my God. And they're freaking out because they're like, we control the money. The government will give us stuff. And then it's like, oh no, I went ahead and put my money into some other alternative thing. It's called Litecoin. And I just see how that goes for a while. And then when the dollar gets risen back up and you guys figure it out, I can go back into the dollar and allocate my money from this account back into the dollar. And then where I can go to the ATM and get the money out. And then that's why they want to get rid of the dollar, but you can't, because you need to have access to transfer money. It's just the dollar will become the way to transfer money. And you just can't. Every country needs its own paper dollar. Now, the only thing that might happen out of this is they figure out a way to back the dollar with something real, because right now it's not backed with anything. It's a fiat currency. It's just they're printing money and it's losing value. So anyway, things we can do: we can boycott. We can go online and get, I don't know, let's say 500,000 people, right? Do something like they did with GameStop. And they say, you know what, guys? They don't have to pull your money out. You don't have to go to the bank and pull your money out. You say, let's do it an hour before the market closes on Friday. We all pull as much money as you can allocate out of Bank of America or Wells Fargo 1 hour before they close down. And 500,000 people do that. And then Wells Fargo's looking at their accounts like, we just had 500,000 transfers into Coinbase. I mean, you can always transfer back. You can always do whatever. And you can actually pay through Coinbase. And I'm not saying you bought any crypto. You just transferred it into your cash profile account that says USD, US dollar, and 500,000 people do that. And then it makes headlines. And the next time, 1 million people do it. The banks are going to go nuts. And they're going to realize we just applied the pressure on you. Okay? You don't have the power. We do. And this is why they are flexing hard, because their crazy ass way to get you guys in debt and just get you all tripped up in debt has got everybody just scared to death. You want to know why they got these people in face diapers driving around in cars? Because these people are scared to death to lose their livelihood, their homes, kids. If you're listening to this, if your parents talk about the mortgage, that doesn't mean they own the home you live in. Okay? They'll take 29 jabs to keep you clothed in that house. Okay? And that's the real fear. Fear of losing your home, fear of losing your family, fear of losing your loved ones, fear of losing your possessions that you worked so hard to get. That is the real fear that they're getting at. And that's why you have these morons with their masks on, okay? But you know what? I've been down here in Mexico, and it's been sucky, but businesses have stayed open. So that dollar keeps slipping. Mexico's still been working. It hasn't been as busy, but it's still been open. So I'd be start laughing if I start to see that peso outpace that dollar. Wouldn't that be funny? But we're gonna see what happens, because now that this $1,200 is gone, this is gonna be like them pulling the plug on this whole experience. Them pulling the rug, because people aren't gonna be going to Walmart as much. People are gonna be cutting back because you can only spend what you have. And I hope some of you guys saved up. And if you did, listen to some of my advice and start investing. Put a couple $100 in a Ameritrade account and buy yourself some stock in Pepsi, Disney. I don't know, whatever you're into. You can go and get a stock market and buy some stock. Coca-Cola is a good one. It's probably $48 to $60 right now. I haven't even looked. And then before you know it, you had a stock. And then say you do go to the Coinbase and you put $150 on a Litecoin. Doesn't need to be Bitcoin. It'd be Litecoin. You say, I like Litecoin. I researched it. And then you know what you just did? You just diversified your account. You just diversified your portfolio, because now you own $150 of Litecoin or EOS or whatever you want. And now you have a share in Coca-Cola. You just purchased a share in an international company of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Disney or whatever you want. It's your business. You just bought a share of an international company, and you just diversified your portfolio. And then when you do diversify, or when you do buy stocks, make sure you go and make sure you reinvest the dividends, because they will give you money. It's going to be a little until you buy more, but reinvest the dividends. That way, that's how it starts making money. So every quarter, it's going to kick you out some money. It won't be much until you buy a few, but it'll start adding up, and then it'll start basically compounding. That's compound interest, but that's a whole nother story. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. Things we can do, start doing. Looking forward to it. We have ways to get out of the major banks that all have Visa and MasterCard. We have ways to get out now. And they're freaking out. They're losing control, and they're starting to just go ham. Do I think this is going to continue? Do I think the dollar is going to drop? No. I think it's needed to wake these people up to where they're like, wait a minute, if these people can't make money to pay their debt, then the banks are going to be like, all we have is a bunch of debt. And they're going to be the ones standing there holding the balloon. And the American people just might pop it. All right. I'm going to leave it at that, because that was kind of a cool little note. All right. Peace out.